Hello, welcome back to A Course in Miracles, and we're in the midst. We really are. We've come just over halfway through the workbook for students in this course, so we're in the midst of it. We're in the thick of it. Yeah, right in the heart of the matter. And I thank you all, as always, for joining me here today. And thank those of you who are watching from Enlightened World Network. This used to be a live stream on Enlightened World Network, and the content is still available there. These videos are made available on Enlightened World Network's YouTube channel, and I know that a number of you are tuning in from that platform, so thank you and welcome. Now, a couple of differences between the show now versus the show then. In other words, the show pre-recorded is different than the show live because you don't see me addressing the live stream comments on here, and I'm not inviting people to comment live. However, you're more than welcome to comment on these videos. I do read them. And if you have specific questions, I do respond to those as well. So yeah, with the pre-recorded content, it is really a beautiful thing because it's enabling me to go a little bit deeper than I'm able to in a live thread setting. I'm able to concentrate and to serve as a channel for the Holy Spirit much more effectively in this format. So I hope that this is something that you're enjoying. I'm certainly enjoying it. And here we all are. All right. Lesson 197 is the lesson that we're going to be talking about today. And that is, it can be but my gratitude that I earn. Okay. It can be but my gratitude that I earn. So we're talking about giving and receiving here, and we've looked at a couple of different, very, very fundamental and very poignant ideas from the workbook about giving and receiving. So one of the beautiful things that you'll no doubt notice in A Course in Miracles is it's consistent in terms of its philosophy. It's consistent in terms of its application throughout. So if Jesus says one thing in the text, he's going to say the same thing in the workbook or the manual for teachers and so on and so forth. They're different presentations of the same material. And in fact, one is welcome to begin wherever. It doesn't matter. Some people start with the workbook, many people do. Some people start with the text or the manual. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're delving into this material and that you're applying it. You're making a decision in the present moment, moment to moment, to apply this. So lesson 197 is another look at an idea that we've seen already in a couple of different lessons here in the workbook, and that is the idea of giving and receiving are one in truth. Giving and receiving are one in truth. In the world where human beings run amok, definitely running amok, people give with strings attached. Not that it's all too common for someone to extend a gift and expect something in return. Some very obviously, mom, for example. Some not so obviously, which could be someone that is a friend or family member. You have likely experienced being on the receiving end of a gift with strings attached. So think to yourself about how that makes you feel? Is there an ick factor to this? Is there a yuck factor to this, or a dissatisfaction to this? There often is in the world, because people give with strings attached. That, and people give with the expectation of lots and lots of praise. Maybe you've been on the receiving end of one of these gifts where somebody wants you to worship them because you gave them a gift. They want praise and public thanks. They want an article in the New York Times praising their exultant generosity, right? Their gift that they supposedly gave from the bottom of their heart, from the goodness of their mind and heart and soul. They want an expose on the front page of the New York Times touting their deep philanthropy. Yeah. Exaggeration works in this particular case because people do give like this. Human beings give like this with strings attached, or with the expectation of heaping and perhaps even unnatural amounts of gratitude. People want to have their ass kissed. They do. People want to have their ass kissed because they gave someone something. It doesn't matter what the thing is. It makes absolutely no difference what the thing is, whether it is a physical, tangible object or an idea, such as love. We all know, yes, when a gift is given with a string attached, or with an expectation from the giver of a reward, we know that that's not true giving. So what happens? Let's go back to the idea of giving and receiving are one in truth. Therefore, when a gift is truly given, it's given to the recipient. It's also, because there is no separation of any kind ever, and there never has been, and there never will be, it's also given to the giver. The giver receives the same gift that he or she extends to someone else. Always. 100% of the time. And the way that it works is when the recipient of the gift expresses gratitude, the giver knows that he or she has what they just gave. You can't give something that you don't have, but you're not always aware, are you, that you have it. It's how you're made aware that you have this thing that you gave. Love. Perhaps it's praise or recognition. Perhaps it's a physical, tangible object. Again, the subject matter of the gift doesn't make any difference. What we're talking about here is the essence of giving and receiving. They are one in truth. And when you give someone something, you also receive that. This is an injunction to all of you to give love, to extend love, because we can also dish out hatred. So when someone thanks you for having given a gift, you're in fact thanking yourself. Giving and receiving are one in truth, and it can be, but your gratitude that you are. Yeah. So this makes me happy. Does it make you happy? I suppose that warrants a bit of an explanation, doesn't it? it makes me happy because I love how the workbook returns to subjects and returns to ideas again and presents them in a different light. This is certainly a different, on the surface, at least anyway, presentation of the idea that to give and to receive are one in truth. And that is so foundational. It's so fundamental to the course's practice and idea and notion of forgiveness, which of course is fundamental here in A Course in Miracles. When you forgive someone else, you're forgiving yourself. In fact, you can very easily make that a part of your forgiveness practice. This is something that you can do. And I suggest highly that you do that, because often we're the toughest on ourselves as human beings. So when we forgive, let's not exclude ourselves. Remember, everything that we appear to see, supposedly out there, is a reflection of what's going on in our own mind. When we see something beautiful, it's symbolic of our radiance. It's symbolic of our love. It's symbolic of our abundance as Christ. And when we experience something painful, it's an opportunity for us to forgive. To forgive the situation, to forgive the person or people involved. It's a tremendous opportunity. That is a central practice here in A Course in Miracles, and the idea that to give and to receive are one in truth is a foundational and beautiful component of that. That's why I'm so happy to be talking about this idea right now. So, as always, even though the content is pre-recorded, I invite all of your questions. So please feel welcome to reach out. Facebook Messenger is very, very good, Tomas Garza, and email is great, tomas@tomasgarza.com. Also, feel welcome to leave comments here on this YouTube channel. And I thank you all for tuning in. We're going to continue through some very, very powerful ideas here in the workbook for students. And thank you all so much for joining me.